What's going on YouTube? Hope you guys are well. Welcome back to another video. So this video will be about something I was essentially thinking about today, which I think was massive in terms of just a big reflection I had for personal, you could say, accomplishment in the area of, nutrition. And basically I was just thinking that the only reason I was able to get the results I got was because I was willing to sacrifice the things I did. And this will apply to you and your journey massively, because especially in the area of health, there's a lot of different distractions and things, vices that you can get lost in that will really derail your results and not be able to get the big goals you have, of healing yourself with your food, of looking a certain way, feeling a certain way, and basically living a certain lifestyle. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Daniel. For the past 8 years, I've been able to reverse and manage my psoriasis using just food, and have been able to basically evade the healthcare system. And I teach what I've learned over those 8 years to you guys as well as my clients. So what I want to basically get on about is, whatever goal you're looking at, whether it be for health, which I'm assuming you're here for, it could be for finances, it could be for, relationships. You have to realize that the bigger the goal, the bigger things, the bigger you have to sacrifice. People think it's something that you have to add always, especially, with YouTube nowadays. I feel like YouTube does a really good job of clickbaiting and saying like, oh, it's the thing you need for this, and like add this little thing to get this thing. So like people are trying to look for leverage in small things that you add, but actually what gives you the most leverage is the things that you sacrifice or remove. I remember when I was starting out in my journey, I did a video about this, but essentially I was basically like most people, you could say, in society nowadays, just not minding anything they're eating whatever they wanted. I was a big fan of like Italian cuisine, so like lasagnas, cannellonis, tiramisu, just all, the Italian, basically high carb, low protein diet. And I had, luckily, I'm from Argentina, my dad's side, so I have barbecue, almost weekly barbecues when the weather was good. So actually very grateful for that. It's if you guys haven't had Argentina barbecue, you're definitely missing out. I think they're the biggest producers of meat in the world in terms of the country. But anyways, the point is, I had the ability to eat, a full range of, macros in terms of like proteins, fats, and carbs. But essentially, when I got the psoriasis, I had to sacrifice the Italian cuisine, because that was, mostly full of gluten, all the pasta, the dough for the pizza. I was a big fan of pizza as well, Meat Lovers Pizza, shout out Meat Lovers Pizza. And, everything that's basically made it in, those cuisine is all just like gluten, carbs, and basically I had to cut that completely out. So imagine, the mindset I had to have to go from doing, one life to completely shifting completely and going to something else. So that's basically the mindset you have to have, and realize that that is what it takes to achieve the big goals. And whatever area you're looking at right now, you can just, I would say, just write down if you're not able to actually assess, but you can assess, you're not dumb. You're able to actually assess what you have to remove. Usually it's things like drinking, going to bed late, not going to the gym, not taking care of your food, not tracking your food, just bad overall habits in terms of, not taking care of, skin, maybe not applying moisturizer to your skin, something like that if you have a skin issue. But essentially, you know more or less the bad things you're doing, but you try to like add more good things on top. But the thing is, like, the bad thing has so much downside that it just basically cancels out any upside that you're trying to get from these new habits you're adding, of like, maybe more water, or like I'm gonna have vitamins and supplements. That's the new thing now, is like all these vitamin stacks, and people are just trying to like avoid the basic stuff of eating whole foods and cutting out processed foods, but they're trying to like leverage supplements and find like the new supplement that's coming out. I think the new one is, I forget the new one that's out right now, but like everyone's just trying to find that like new like hack or tip. And that's basically the mindset you have to remove. Like, stop looking for what to add, or like the new thing you're missing. It's what you're actually doing right now you have to remove. Think of it like a garden, and basically the bad things that you're doing are the weeds, and the things you're trying to grow are the plants. So the plants are the good habits you're trying to grow. Things like, eating well or tracking what you're eating, making sure you're hydrated, making sure you're moving enough. And you're offsetting that things with things like, drinking and the things I mentioned before. So you have to remove those weeds to let the actual plants grow, so you can focus more of the water you're putting into your garden on those plants. And that is the whole gist of it. So I think Bruce Lee says it's not, life is not a process of addition, it's a process of subtraction. I believe it's a Bruce Lee quote. And Bruce Lee has some pretty fire quotes, so definitely listen to him. But yeah, this is the mindset you have to begin to have. Like, any goal you set, make a list of the goal, who you have to be to attain that goal. That should be a goal that's close enough to where you're at, that the steps behind it. A lot of people set these huge goals of like, just massive goals, like, people financially, for instance, I'm gonna make my first 100K a month, and they're like making like 5K a month. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be something that's close enough. I'm just giving you an example. Financially, it could be for health. I want to get a 6-pack, but you have a fucking tummy. You have your beer belly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, has to be close. Has to be step by step. The next step above where you're at, so you can actually have enough faith to actually do the steps behind it. Because if the goal's so far ahead, you actually lose faith, and your goal has to make you feel good as you're going towards it. That's the whole process of faith. Because if you don't believe something is attainable, you want to do the steps behind it. So know the steps more or less. Even though they won't matter, more steps will come to you as you're going and doing your thing. And the other one is the reasons why you want that goal, that will convince you as to why you should keep going and have that faith, or else you'll never do it. And then beside that, what you have to sacrifice. So that'll be the hardest one. That's why people say they want one thing, but they don't actually prove it with their actions, because they don't want to remove what's necessary, and they know what's necessary to remove. Most people, it'll be like I said, I gave you the bad habits for health. It could be things as well, like watching too much TV, maybe spending too much time chasing women, watching the news, watching politics, watching sports. You know what I mean? Like, as a man watching this, these are things you have to remove to really like elevate. Think of it like you climbing a mountain. You'll only climb faster and higher if you have less baggage, and that's you're removing all the shit that's not helping you. So the things that have the most downside, remove them right away, and you'll see the biggest jumps. But then when you're looking for the next jump, start to remove more. Like, just make yourself lighter. And this is essentially the key to any big goal. You can ask any person that's achieved big things. Don't ask them, what'd you have to do, man, to like do this? Like, what'd you have to stop doing? Like, who would you have to remove? Who or what? Or who would you have to basically, like, you have to basically kill the old you and the old habits you have to become the person you have to be to attain those goals. So, just any goal you're writing down now, from now on, I want you to think about the sacrifice behind it and not what you have to add. Stop doing what everyone else is doing, or else you keep getting what everyone else is getting. And I promise you, if you sacrifice like I did, in terms of doing the 180, that's where you get the biggest leverage and the biggest results. It may suck in the short term, of course, but I mean, the pain of staying the same will be worse, or actually the pain of not staying the same, the pain of actually digressing, because there's no staying the same, there's no stagnation. It's actually you getting worse as a person. So do you want to improve as a person and just remove some things to get there, or do you want to just keep those things and like keep them comfy and like trying to hold on to the person you are now, and then just digressing over time and over the years? Choice is yours. If you want help with it, you can find me on Instagram. Put the description below of where to find me. Also, please comment below what you've sacrificed in order to get to where you're at currently, and what you have to sacrifice. And if you don't know, then you can find me on Instagram, and I can help you sort that out. I help my clients with that as well. So if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. More coming daily. Other than that, make the sacrifice, keep doing your thing, and most of all, keep killing it.